The distributive property. The distributive property states that for any numbers a, b, and c, if you multiply a times, in parentheses, b plus c, that's the same as multiplying a times b and a times c. In other words, what that means is, if you're trying to multiply an entire group in parentheses by something, instead multiply the a by all of the members within the group. Pretend you were working at Office Depot in one of their warehouses. Your job is to take inventory of everything in the warehouse. Warehouse inventory is a list of everything you have. For Office Depot, that could be the number of pencils and the number of desks, plus the number of chairs, plus etc., 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 and the number of folders. Literally a list of everything. Now, your boss tells you that another store is going to be closing next month, and you need to double your inventory to make up for it. Now, if you were to double your inventory, naturally what you would do is you would double the number of pencils. You would double the number of desks, double the number of chairs, double the number of folders. This is the distributive property at work. Instead of saying you're going to multiply the entire group, it may be useful for you as an inventory manager to instead double each individual item. Here are some examples of distribution used in algebra. We want to take some number and multiply it by an entire group. To do so, we need to multiply the 5 by every member in the group, 2x and 7. 5 times 2x is 10x, 5 times 2. 5 times 7 is 35. We have distributed, as simple as that. In the second example, we do the same thing. To multiply 6 into the parentheses. 6 times 9x is 54x. And 6 times 11 is 66. But there should be a minus sign in the middle. Keep in mind that the signs inside the parentheses nearly always stay the same. The only time they would change is if you were trying to distribute a negative number. In the third example, we want to distribute negative 2 into the parentheses. Negative 2 times x is just negative 2x. There's no other way you can write that. If you are confused by that step, try imagining a 1 in front of the x. Naturally, negative 2 is what should go here because negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Then negative 2 times that 3. Well, 2 times 3 is 6. Should the sign in front of the 6 be negative or positive? Because we have a negative 2 times a negative 3, you should remember that a negative times a negative should always be positive. Here are the answers for these 3 distribution problems. Sometimes there might just be only a negative in front of the parentheses. One trick, if that confuses you, is to think of it instead of just a negative sign as being a -1. If you distribute -1 into the parentheses, all that happens is the signs of the parentheses change. And as we go further on in our studies, we'll also learn that you can sometimes multiply with variables and distribute. And multiply in with variables, 2y times 3x, well, you can multiply 2 times 3, but x and y cannot be combined other than putting them next to each other. 6xy plus 2 times 4, y. Distribution is simply multiplying what's in front of the parentheses times each thing, each term within the parentheses themselves. For more practice, try the problems above. Pause the video. If you need help or would like solutions, see your teacher